Lesson 2.3b, using negative integers to represent quantities. As we discussed in the last video, the order of operations applies to integer operations as well as positive number operations. We do any work operations within parentheses, then we do any exponents, then we multiply or divide from left to right, whichever comes first, then we add or subtract from left to right, whichever comes first. We can use positive and negative integers to solve problems involving amounts that increase or decrease. Sometimes we may need to use more than one operation. Now remember, for word problems, we look for clue words to help us determine the sign of the values and the operations we'll use. And we write an expression that fits the problem, we evaluate the expression, then we check for reasonableness of our answer. We can justify our answer. So this word problem says that Tala and her sister borrowed $30 from their parents to go to a movie. Each must pay back an equal share of this amount. Also, Tala owes her parents $10. By how much will Tala's savings change after she pays her parents? So the first thing we're going to do is find the important information. We have Tala and her sister. We're going to divide by 2 because there are 2 people paying back an equal amount. It's important that they borrowed $30 and that each must pay back an equal share. And it's also important that Tala already owes her parents $10 before she even decided to go to the movie with her sister. We write an expression. We have $30 for both of them to go to the movie, so we're going to divide that by 2. Then we're going to add the $10 she owes as a negative 10, and we're going to divide first. Negative 30 divided by 2 is negative 15. Then we add the $10 she owes. They have like signs for these add-ins, so our sum is going to be just like the add-ins. It's going to be a negative. We have negative 25. That means Tala's savings will decrease by $25. We can justify this. She's paying money back, so she will have less in her account. It will decrease. Can also be written as negative 30 over 2 for negative 30 divided by 2. Then we can add the negative 10. Using absolute values, we think the absolute value of negative 30 is 30. It's 30 jumps from 0. The absolute value of a positive 2 is 2. It's 2 jumps from 0. We divide their absolute values. 30 divided by 2 is equal to 15. And negative 30 and positive 2 have unlike signs, so the quotient is negative 15. Now we add. Negative 15 and negative 10 are add-ins with like signs. So we add their absolute values and use the sign of the add-ins. We add 15 and 10, which is 25, and the sum will be like the add-ins. They both have a negative, so it's negative 25. Sarah bought a pie for $5 and bought 4 lemon tarts for $28. How much did her savings change for the pie and 1 lemon tart? So we think we need to answer the question that was asked. It's asking about the pie and 1 lemon tart. She bought 4 of them, but it only wants to know about the pie and 1 lemon tart. So we have a negative 5 that she spent on the pie, and she spent $28 for 4 lemon tarts. To find 1 lemon tart, we need to do the $28 she spent divided by the 4 tarts. So we divide first. According to the order of operations, it tells us to multiply or divide before adding or subtracting. So we're going to simplify this fraction first. It's a division problem. The absolute value of negative 28 is 28. The absolute value of 4 is 4. 28 fourths is equal to 7. They have unlike signs, so it's a negative 7. That means each lemon tart was $7. Now we can add the pie price that she spent, the cost she spent, and the $7 she spent on one lemon tart, and they have like signs, so the sum is going to be like the add-ins. It's going to be a negative, and 5 plus 7 is 12. It's a negative 12. Sarah's savings decreased by $12 for the pie and one lemon tart. We can justify that it decreased because she's spending money, so her savings will be less. Here it's telling us to simplify. We have 64 divided by negative 8 plus 12. So the first thing we're going to do is divide. The absolute value of 64 is 64. The absolute value of negative 8 is 8. And 64 divided by 8 is equal to 8. Yeah, 8 times 8 is equal to 64. We divide the absolute values. And they have unlike signs, so the quotient is a negative 8. Negative 8 plus 12. The add-ins have unlike signs, so we're going to find the difference of their absolute values. Negative 8, the absolute value is 8, and 12, the absolute value is 12. The difference between a 12 and an 8 is a 4, and the sum uses the sign of the add-end with the greater absolute value, which is 12, so the sum is a positive 4 because that's a positive 12. We know that it's equal to 4. For this one, we need to simplify negative 48 divided by negative 3 minus a negative 7. We're going to divide first. We divide their absolute values, so that would be 48 divided by 3, which is 16. We know they have like signs, so the quotient is a positive 16. Now we need to subtract a negative 7. We can add the opposite. So instead of subtracting, we're going to add. Instead of a negative 7, it's going to be a positive 7. And 16 plus 7 is equal to 23. We need to double check to make sure we're using the correct signs. And remember the rules. For multiplication and division, when they have like signs, it's going to be a positive. And we're going to add the opposite. So we're adding a positive and a positive, which is going to be a positive. So for a quick review, here are the rules. When we're doing addition and we have like signs, the sum is like the add-ins. So if they're positive, the sum will be positive. If they're negative, it's going to be negative. If we're adding unlike signs, we find their absolute value difference and use the sign of the add-in with the greatest absolute value. For subtraction, we add the opposite, then follow the rules for addition. For multiplication and division, like signs will produce a positive answer and unlike signs will produce a negative answer. And it's very important you remember that the addition and subtraction rules are different than the multiplication and division rules. Notice for addition, when we have a negative and a negative, it's going to equal a negative, but for multiplication and division, a negative and a negative will make a positive. These are not the same rules for addition and multiplication and division. Remember what we learned in lesson 2.2b. When the dividend is 0, the quotient is 0. When the dividend is 0, the quotient is 0. But when the divisor is 0, the quotient is undefined. If the divisor is the denominator, when it's written as a fraction, it's undefined. We've finished lesson 2.3b. We're going to move on to 2.3c and compare values of expressions of integer operations. So be very careful to use the correct signs. Have a really nice day, and I'll see you the next lesson. Bye.